Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. Somehow become the focal point of the entire...
A sneak peek there of the new feature film Superman, set to hit theaters this Friday, but there's some controversy heading into the U.S. premiere as The Man of Steel appears to be challenging the political status quo.
Director James Gunn says the film will address the biggest political issues head-on, especially the issue of immigration. In a statement to the Times of London, Gunn said, quote, "Superman is the story of America, an immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. But for me, it is mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something we have lost."
But that didn't sit well with some fans who say The Man of Steel is more American than Alien. Versus Media podcast Stephen L. Miller posting to X, quoting, "The reason Hollywood can't get Superman right is Superman is about what's good about America, and Hollywood hates America." Outkick founder Clay Travis says he's going to skip the film entirely now, saying America is desperate for apolitical entertainment and Hollywood is unable to deliver it.
Well, Robby, you're our pop culture expert.
Yes.
Are you a Superman fan for a start?
Not particularly. Superman is not... Well, so first of all, I prefer the Marvel universe to the DC universe very much, even though I was a huge Batman fan as a kid. I loved the Batman cartoon series in the 90s. That was kind of my... I was never like an actual comic book reader. My entrance to comic book world stuff is mostly from the show, the cartoon show that was in the 90s. It was a terrific show. Batman, although it had a little bit of Superman in it.
I'm of an older generation, but Spider-Man was my favorite superhero, but I don't know. I don't even know if he is a DC or Marvel guy.
Spider-Man is Marvel.
Okay.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe is just great, although it's gone astray recently. The DC universe that they've now kind of, I think, abandoned, the movie that had Ben Affleck as Batman and Henry Cavill as Superman and Gal Gadot as Wonder Man and that Khal Drogo, who's Aquaman, those movies were just not that great. That said, I did like Henry Cavill as Superman. Superman has been also done so many times. All of these things have done so many times. I'm just a little sick of it. I have no desire to see this movie. It has nothing to do with the political subtext, or if there even is political subtext, I don't know. I find Superman a little bit boring. I thought Henry Cavill did him really well. I have no desire to see it rebooted. I am not going to watch this movie. And I even really like the guy who's playing Lex Luthor, whose name Nicholas Hoult, that's his name I was looking for. He's great in a lot of stuff. The idea of him as Lex Luthor is interesting to me. I will probably not see this, though, because it's just, we're so saturated in superhero content. I don't need any more. Batman, same thing. The Christopher Nolan movies were perfect. I don't like the Suicide Squad movies, either of them. There's too much. We need like a just pause on a lot of this stuff.
A complete and total shutdown
Marvel
of superhero
is turning
movies.
out new stuff based on different superheroes. Now they're not doing a good job with a lot of that now, but at least it's something new. Who wants another Superman, another Batman? Stop with it already. It's another Spider-Man that is in Marvel, and it's finally rebooted successfully. The original Spider-Man movies. Did you see those?
No.
Did you see the one with Tobey Maguire?
I did not.
Those were okay. I didn't see the ones with Andrew Garfield after that. I like Tom Holland, and I like the ones that fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anyway, I guess we should address actual political content.
Yes.
It is true that Superman is an alien. Now, he embodies American values. He's raised in America. I guess I never really thought of it as like a pro-immigration story, but I guess you could make that argument, and then I guess conservatives are mad that that's the case, that he's an immigrant. It didn't sound like, it didn't sound overly political. I am getting annoyed with every character, every movie needing to have a Trump or Elon-esque villain in it is something I've noticed lately.
Okay.
I just watched on the plane back from Italy, I watched two movies. I watched the second Beetlejuice movie, which was not great. I didn't expect it to be great because it's like a shameless cash grab. The original Beetlejuice is great. And then I watched this science fiction movie called Mickey 17 that I thought was just terrible, like absolutely awful. And it had in it as the villain Mark Ruffalo playing, like a Trump-esque or Elon-esque tech politician billionaire who's going to start his own space colony, and he mistreats everyone, but he's crazy and stupid and erratic. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I know you all think Trump is the dumbest person ever and that Elon is the stupidest person ever, but like they have to. People who are so erratic they can't even function, like, don't tend to found giant companies and launch space colonies. It just like doesn't actually happen in real life.
Maybe I should get over my usual aversion to sci-fi and go see that one. Might appeal to my sensibilities. Look, on the political thing of the Superman one, the thing that strikes me is how uncontroversial what the director said is. He refers to Superman as an immigrant. He says it's the story of America, an immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. I mean, that is not, I don't see why that is a controversial read of American history. He's not making some argument about border controls. He's pointing out that the United States is a country that, with the exception of indigenous people, was propelled by immigrants across centuries.
I don't think he applied for asylum status when he got here. He's kind of I guess he's a fleeing political
Krypton, right?
or I guess that's ecological disaster
yes,
is the reason he has to come to Earth.
Yeah, and then, the director goes on to say it's a story about basic human kindness, which is a value and is something we have lost. And I think that is very fair. I think we live in a sadly rather callous time politically and otherwise. I mean, myself and our friend Amber Duke last week were discussing alligator Alcatraz and the sort of sneering at the idea that people would be like eaten by alligators if they escape a detention facility. And we see, Elon, who you were just citing, talking about suicidal empathy. That sort of view that being empathic is a danger. I do think it is completely valid to argue, at least, that we're in a sort of unkind time, or that the zeitgeist is rather unkind. And just finally, these conservatives who we quoted in the introduction appalled at this. It's kind of, I mean, if the rules were reversed, that would be just, these liberal snowflakes, they can't take anything, they can't take any criticism.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I would never watch this because the director has made some, to my mind, rather uncontroversial comments about immigration.
Yeah, I don't care. I think if done well, political themes in entertainment are welcome if they're a little bit sophisticated and complicated, even if I don't agree with them. I think, for instance, the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy is somewhat right-leaning in at least the first two, and the third one is by far the most right-wing major movie. The themes, I think you're an idiot if you missed them, but it's so conservative in its, like, the villains are Occupy Wall Street people who are finally unmasked as Middle Eastern terrorists. The police are the heroes. Right-wing, Batman leads a right-wing vigilante counterinsurgency against the leftist occupiers. It's absurdly right-wing, and it's a great movie. And other movies can have left-wing politics, and that's fine. The Boys is a comic book show on what is it, on Amazon Prime, that is extremely left-wing and extremely anti-Trump in its politics. It gets more aggressively that way as it goes on. I find it a little bit over the top by the end, but I still watch the whole series. I enjoyed it. When it comes out with another season, I'll watch it again. I like the world building. I don't mind that it doesn't have my politics. That's fine, and people there should be enough politically neutral entertainment I agree that not everything needs to be political at all times, or especially things like maybe sports and other aspects of entertainment that we don't need to have politics be a component of it all the time. But entertainment is a medium where we want our storytelling to be for a purpose. So
have themes.
That's fine.
For sure.
Fine by me. Joy Reid has some advice for Trump, and we will get into that next. Can't wait to hear it.